Hello everyone, welcome to the Matt Paul Vlog episode 006. One of the things I come across with in what I do in the construction industry was sometimes we'll get some residential clients that want like a load of rock delivered or want some dirt or sand or something to fill a hole, and one of the questions we ask is how much do they want, how many loads they think they're going to need as far as what's going to be delivered with a truck. And there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to quantify things. One of the things I'll say that I forget that since I am exposed to it every day, it's kind of second nature as far as the formulas and everything. But one of the quick ways for me to kind of quantify things when it comes to dirt or rock is it's easy to put it in a spreadsheet. Right now I got Excel open up, but Google Sheets works just as well, and the Apple equivalent works well. But what you want to do is set a spreadsheet up similar to what I got here: number, length, width, depth, and then SF, which would be for square feet, SY for square yards, CF for cubic feet, and CY for cubic yards. And if we remember from school that what did I do? I went all the way down to like 100,000 row, so don't know what that is. Let's try this again. All right, if we remember from grade school, 1 foot is the equivalent, or excuse me, 1 foot is equivalent, is actually 3 feet equals 1 yard. And if you remember, a square foot is 1 foot by 1 foot. Well, for a square yard, 3 feet by 3 feet equals 9 square feet equals 1 square yard. And then a cubic foot is 1 foot high by 1 foot wide by 1 foot depth. So when we do convert the yards for cubic feet, so 3 feet long by 3 feet wide by 3 feet tall is equal to 27 cubic feet. And what I'm doing now, setting up a conversion table. And you can do the same thing with dirt. You can do the same, this table I'm setting up, you can do the same thing with concrete. Say you have a concrete pad that, one concrete pad, and you want to do 25 feet long, 12 feet wide. Now, one thing to remember, a lot of people do your depth in inches. Well, the inches, or your inches is 1/12 of a foot. So if you want a 4-inch pad and it's 1/12, divide that by 12, it gets 0.333 repeating feet. Now, I like the reason why I do square feet, because not necessarily with concrete in this example, but it also allows us in another example, I can use the square yardage to factor in, say, like tons of stone. But for this one on concrete, let's see, one of the things to set up in this one, we're going to square feet. So square feet is your length times your width, and that's the formula there. Square yards, we take that and divide it by 9 square feet and 1 square yard, so divide that by 9 equals to 33 square feet. Cubic feet would be, and I messed up in the square yardage because we want to take the number. So say if you have multiple pads that are the same width, length, width, and depth, that you could go through, and I'm messing up here trying to explain, you can go through and multiply it by however many it is, and that'll allow you to basically multiply it over that iteration. I just want to catch that by the number there. All right, and then cubic yards is your cubic feet divided by 27 cubic feet. So for a concrete pad or concrete slab, it's 25 feet by 12 feet, 25 feet long by 12 feet wide, and 4 inches in depth. It is 4.7 cubic yards of concrete. However, one of the things in concrete work, you want to add in a waste factor. So what you can do is take this number, and your typical waste factor in concrete is 5%. So 3.89, when I would order concrete, I would round it up to 4 cubic yards. So that was the example for concrete. All right, let's do one on dirt. Let's say you have an area that's 35 feet by 2 feet wide. You got a little edging, and you want to put 6 inches in. The good thing is, now that we started this row up here, all we have to do is drag this. So it's 70 square feet, just about 8 square yards, 35 cubic feet, comes out to be 1.2 or 29 cubic yards in dirt. Well, you may run into instance that they don't sell dirt by the yards, they sell it by the truckload. And for this one, you'd get like a 5-ton truckload, but say it's sold in tons. Well, a lot of times dirt goes off a unit weight, and a unit weight is a combination of what the moisture is for 1 cubic foot. From there, if you Google it, a cubic yard of dirt, and I would say 1 cubic yard of dirt, I can't type, equals about 2,800 pounds. And from there, what you can do is take this, multiply it by 2,800 cubic pounds. It gets you 3,600 cubic pounds. However, the truck hauls it in tons. Well, you just need to just go back in and say, 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds, or 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. So the effect of that is you need 1.8 tons, which in my case I would order 2 tons of dirt. Asphalt, say if you wanted to pave a driveway, you wanted to have an idea how many tons of asphalt you wanted to do. Let's say 1 foot, let's give a decent driveway here about 50 foot long, about 10 feet wide. Most asphalt you're going to do 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches. 2 inches is typical, 1.5 inches for super pave. It's 500 square feet, 55 square yards, and 83 cubic feet and about 3 cubic yards. Now, there's a couple different ways, but asphalt is mostly sold in tons. And I've had to do some research on this, but I will say that for every 1 inch for 1 square yard per 1 inch of asphalt equals 115 to 116 pounds. Where I found that out at is in the NCDOT manual that gives it for quantities. So say, and we're going to have to get a little, this formula here in this cell right here, we're going to have to get a little imaginative on it, but we're talking about 1 square yard. So we're going to come out for your tons and say 1 square yard times, and we said 0.6 feet. However, this is inch per asphalt, so it's 2 inches times 115, and it's in pounds. However, we want to get to tons, so we got to make sure we divide by 2,000 pounds to get to tons, is equal to 6.4 tons. So a little bit of, I'm just going to bolt these in. Little tricks of the trade when I come to quantity. When I do quantity takeoffs, there's some different programs out there now that you can have in. It has all these factors given in. However, I will still try and true go back and back check with Excel or a spreadsheet program. But just wanted to give a little insight on some of the questions that I ask that people just don't, prospective clients just haven't been around and are very novice, and their price is dictated on these quantities. However, I will say that to set up to do 12 tons, let's say to do 15 tons of asphalt, to do 6 tons, your labor on that is going to be, your labor and equipment is going to be very similar, because I mean you're going to tie a whole crew up a day, where if they go up and do 6 tons of asphalt for a driveway where they got another driveway that's going to be 12 tons, the only difference is going to be the actual material price and the overall quote, because your labor and equipment is going to be the same. It's just is. I mean, in my opinion, it is what it is. If I'm going to tie up a crew all day, they're going to have to be, they're going to have to pay, a premium, even though it's a minimal amount. There's some people out there that'll do it unit price for unit price, but to send the trucks up the road, it's just something to think about. Anyways, brought you around on my new tripod I talked about in another video, but yeah, this is something I do every day. On the examples I gave were a little bit small stuff, so if you got any questions on quantities for like do-it-yourself projects, shoot me a comment below. I can help you out on it. A lot of my stuff is on an industrial scale. Since I'm in the water and sewer utility business, we kind of deal with a little bit more quantities, in that I will say when it comes to like paving, we are not on a production scale like the big DOT contractors. We're mostly going in and patching where we fixed or replaced a storm drain pipe. There have been instances where there's been dual contracts where we go in and fix all the utility for some of the municipalities, where we go in and fix the pipeline, the utility, and put a temp patch in, and a paving contractor comes in and mills the whole street and repaves everything so it looks uniform. That's kind of on the municipality, and it all goes, it varies from municipality to municipality. And if you don't know what a municipality is, it's basically your cities and your towns. Anyways, again, like I said, try to leave out in all my other videos. If you could, please, it would mean a lot to me if you go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment so I can make my videos better. I hope you found some relevant information in this, a quick blurb about how to do takeoffs on some of your or DIY projects. You can use the same formulas. For instance, when I did it on concrete example, you could use it for mulch. And you may be thinking that, well, what if I have a round surface? Well, if we're just estimating, you could square it up, and if it's a little bit bigger than what your area is, that's just a buffer or a contingency factor. If you ran short, if you made a mathematical error, you got enough in there, or it'll give you an idea to make budgetary numbers when you set your budgets on your little projects. So again, like this video, comment if you could, please subscribe. It mean a lot to me, and I'll talk to you again later. Thank you.